Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Jacobs, for those of you who don't know me, and I am the middle school Bible teacher here. Today, I have the privilege to share with you all a little bit of information and insight into what's called Veterans Day. So I'm going to start us off with a short video on Veterans Day. All right, guys. So I hope that you enjoyed that video. All right. So if you were to ask any Jew today that is alive who they thought was the best warrior of ancient Israel, the greatest fighter that has ever existed, all right, the conqueror of conqueror, everyone hands down would say, take a guess. You guessed it, King David. All right. King David was the mightiest warrior of Israelite history. All right. And what's really cool is the Israelite nation had the Israelite army, of course. And within that army, you had what was called the 30 and the 3. All right. And both of these were special forces units that served directly under King David. So you had the 30 who are talked about in 2 Samuel 23, 8 through 39, who are given special tasks and missions carried out by David. All right, they're his personal bodyguard. And if you look at today within U.S. military forces, is each branch has a special forces unit as well. So the Air Force has what's called PJs. The Army has Rangers and Green Berets. The Navy has Navy SEALs, and the Marine Corps has Recon, MARSOC, and Marine Raiders. All right. And so it's really cool that just like King David had special forces units that served him, all right, we also have special forces units as well. And not only that, when it comes to the 3, the 3 actually were the best of the best within the special forces unit that King David had, which is very similar to what we have, which is what is called Delta Force. So Delta Force takes the best of the best from the Army, from the Marines, from the Navy, and from the Air Force and puts them together in this elite of the elite special unit to do what the U.S. government needs to be done. So I find that really cool to see these parallels or similarities between ancient warfare and modern warfare. All right. So now I want to discuss some of the facts concerning Veterans Day. So number one, don't confuse it with Memorial Day. All right. Veterans Day, Memorial Day are 2 separate federal holidays. So Veteran Day Veterans Day celebrates and remembers and gives thanks to the veterans who have served in the past and who are currently serving, all right, dead and alive. However, Memorial Day remembers and mourns, all right, and pays respects to those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for freedom, all right, those who have died in past battles or those who are missing in past battles, which is called KIA, killed in action, or MIA, missing in action. All right, it was originally called Armistice Day to remember the end of World War I. Less than 500,000 World War II veterans are alive today. Not every veteran fought in a war. So you have what's called veterans, and then you have combat veterans. Veterans are just people who have served in the military, all right, who could have been called to warfare, but weren't, okay? But then you have combat veterans who actually went to combat, served in warfare, fought for their country when it comes to a battle of some sort, all right? It's actually celebrated in some degrees in other countries. Arlington National Cemetery, located in Virginia, actually hosts an annual event for it. And then veterans are most likely or more likely to be homeless, and many actually leave the armed forces with mental illnesses, unfortunately. All right, so now at this point in time, I want to share another video with you guys with past and current veterans that are going to share a little bit of their stories.
I guess was always brought up to believe in this country.
Greatest country on earth.
I've always had an immense amount of pride in our country. I'm a third generation military member. As a kid, I wanted to serve. It just makes sense to me. It's home.
I was 18 the 21st of April in 43. 2 weeks later, I got my letter from Mr. Presidente. This picture here was taken on the outer edge of Manila. The USS Munda was a Navy flat-top carrier, first one they built. Picked us up in San Diego and we took off for South Pacific.
I chose to go to Vietnam, serve my country. That was me when I first went over to Vietnam. We did a lot of traveling in Hueys. Four on each side, sitting out with your feet hanging out.
I believe in freedom. It's part of my, it's part of my values. And so in a word, freedom. And I believe that's worth dying for. That's at the end of the day, that's what I believe.
These all in here is what was taken on Mindanao. The next morning, they called out a detail of 12 people. We loaded on a aircraft and flew to Bougainville, and that's where I joined the squadron at. VMSB 236 was a dive bomber squadron. We was one of the first groups that had the M1 rifle.
What unifies our military is, at the end of the day, it's what we do is it's not a game. Ultimately, there's a loss of life, and I think my first real experience serving in the AOR and serving in a combat arena, I really came to understand that when a life is involved, everybody will drop everything, and like I said, there is not a question about who they are, but how can we help them.
It's a Marine Corps insignia is what it is. I don't care what branch of the service you're in. You're all there for the same reason.
We all fight for the common goal, and that is one, our nation, and two, for each other.
Yeah, this is a combat infantry badge. And this is the wings where I was an airborne trooper, a paratrooper. Every once in a while, people will still come up to me, and if they see my Vietnam hat or whatever, and say thank you for the service. And it still means a lot.
You know, when people thank me, I always remind them it's an honor to serve. Everything that I have in my life and everything that I have in my family came from service.
I'd do it all over again if I had to. Every Veterans Day, the older I get, I think the more important it comes to me.
Veterans Day means to me is a time to honor everybody who came forward. They were willing to pay up to everything, including their life.
That's my Bronze Star with V for Valor, and that's the Air Medal.
So we're celebrating those one percenters that recognize the need to serve our nation. My name is Troy Taylor, and I'm a veteran of the Global War on Terror.
Stephen A. Evans, a veteran of the Vietnam War.
Richard Wayne Motter. I'm a veteran of World War II.
All right, guys. So the last little bit of things that I want to do for this video is just share some of the ways in which you and your families can help veterans. All right. So number one, you can say thank you. All right. I can tell you from experience, when you have people say thank you for your service, it means the world to us. It's incredibly encouraging. All right. Because veterans have and are giving up a lot, sacrificing a lot to defend our freedom and to serve their country. Okay. And even though I'm a veteran, if I see active duty military personnel, men and women in uniform, all right, I will go up to them and shake their hands and thank them for their service. All right. It's a big thing. It's very encouraging. All right. So I would highly encourage you to be encouraging to others when it comes to just thanking veterans for their service. Also, you could sponsor a service dog for veterans with PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. I have several buddies who I served with who have service dogs, and they will definitely tell you that they are very beneficial and they appreciate them greatly. So that's another way. You could send a care package or a letter to vets overseas. I've received dozens of both of these. All right, while I was over, mostly from friends and family members. All right. But I also remember, and I still have the letters, I received probably 20 or so, 25 letters or so from an elementary class that was just all beautiful and colorful and saying, thank you so much for your service. And thank you for defending our freedom. And I hope you get bad guys, and just really encouraging things. And I can tell you, you know, when you're not allowed to call home every day and not allowed to see each other's faces or whatnot, and you're not allowed to do a lot of things while you're over there. And so if you can get letters and care packages, just reminders of home, different foods and stuff that you like or whatever, that's very encouraging and helpful as well. You can also visit wounded vets in a nearby VA facility and take the time to talk with them and listen. I go to a VA, the Charlotte VA Center, about twice a year for blood work and checkups and so forth. And so I see veterans all the time while I'm there, of course, but there's no young people there. All right. And so I can definitely tell you that it would mean the world to the veterans that are there to have people that are not veterans, and especially the youth going in there and just, having a chat with them, having a conversation with them, listening to some of their stories that they would love to share with you all. And if you do so, I strongly believe that it would be mutually beneficial, not only for you, but for the veterans that are actually sharing their stories. You could also perform home repairs or household chores for a veteran in need within your neighborhood or nearby, especially if you guys have any disabled veterans that live within your neighborhood. Ask your parents and see if you can go over there and cut their grass from time to time, or take their trash to the road, or help them cut shrubs, or if they're painting, help them paint. If they're putting in a vegetable garden, help them, ask them if you can help do that. All right, that will mean the world to them, and it'll be helpful to them. That's another way, a solid way that you can help vets, especially as they get older. You can donate your time or money to a veteran organization like Wounded Warriors or Building Homes for Heroes. All right. And I can definitely tell you that these are two of the best organizations that are out there that are taking care of veterans. You can also provide food for veterans when it comes to like serving in soup kitchens, which most churches have food ministries or homeless ministries where they go out and take care of the homeless with food and give blankets and jackets and stuff like that, shoes or whatnot. You can do that. You can participate. All right, because unfortunately, many veterans are on the streets and homeless, don't have jobs. And so if you take care of the homeless and feed the homeless, 9 times out of 10, you're taking care of a veteran. All right, many veterans. Okay, and lastly, all right, you could help active troops talk to loved ones through virtual conferences. So when I was in Iraq, we did not have this technology and capability, but when I went to Afghanistan, I was one of the few people that was able to actually talk to their loved ones over a virtual conference, a virtual chat. And so I was there for 8 months, and it was about 5 or 6 months into the deployment. So I haven't seen my wife for 6 long months, and I was able to see her, through basically what was very similar to like a Zoom conference or a Google Meet. All right. So it was really cool, and that's beneficial, and that's something that you can help out with as well. All right. So I hope each and every one of you enjoyed this video, and I hope that each and every one of you has an incredible, a wonderful, victorious Veterans Day.